The principal reason Governor Calvo vetoed Bill 516 was because it would have redirected $3 million from the Department of Mental Health to UOG, GCC, and the Retirement Fund, a move which may have placed Gov Guam in contempt of court because that money had been ordered by the district court for use by mental health. The governor rejected arguments made last night in the legislature that the order was vacated or that somehow the funds had lapsed.
The order was not vacated, it was stayed because of some of our cash flow issues. So if this were to be passed into law and then the judge were to then, in our next hearing, order for the payment, where would be the money?
The original intent of Bill 516, of course, was to ensure that Gov Guam could use ERA funds through the end of the next fiscal year, but the governor maintained that the amendments added to the bill jeopardize that funding, which is needed to help refurbish and repair Guam schools. The governor was particularly critical of Speaker Wanpat and Senator Pangilinan for introducing Bill 516 last week and passing it on the same day without a public hearing.
The Vice Speaker and the Ways and Means Chair recently berated our people for not giving a personal invitation to the retirement board members to our 20 community meetings that was to hash out the issues on cutting spending in Gov Guam. So I find it a bit hypocritical that you put a provision in there that would take $3 million away from mental health, focusing on consumers, our most vulnerable, and then reapportioning that to GCC and UOG with not so much as a public hearing.
The governor was less bothered by language in Bill 516, which corrected an embarrassing mistake in the 2013 budget bill, which would have cut off payment to non-classified Gov Guam employees.
I have no problems with correcting the error that happened as a result of, again, a faulty budget process, an enactment of a faulty budget bill into law. I have no problem with.
In the wake of the failed attempt to veto Bill 516 last night, the Speaker then called an amended version of Bill 296 to the floor. It, too, would authorize the extension of ERA funding, and it eliminated the transfer of $3 million from mental health and corrected the faulty language in the 2013 budget bill. It passed unanimously. But here again, the governor and his staff are questioning a provision having to do with the Micronesian Fair. Legal counsel is reviewing it before he signs it.
Of course, now there seems to be another mistake that needs to be corrected as well, and that has been added. There was no discussion
on the Micronesian Fair.
With the Micronesian Fair. There was no discussion with our administration on what that provision was, and there was no public hearing. So we need to look into that and make sure everything is kosher. If everything's kosher, I'll sign this bill into law, and we can get that money spent for ERA.
Kevin Kerrigan, PNC News.